10,000 sails on a Sussex breeze, bringing the law of the overseas. I saw them coming under low grey dawn, white cloth bright as a verdict drawn. They came past the shingle with a measured hush, past the groins and the gulls in a salt-stung rush. Every mast like a finger, every rope like a chain, every wake laid down like a name in rain. 10,000 sails on a Sussex breeze, 10,000 sails, and the sea won't ease. The harbour boys stopped with their hands in tar, watching dark hull shadows from far and far. Old Ned crossed himself by the net men shed, said that fleet brings trouble and a crown of lead. There were lanterns swinging in the brine sour air, and a dog on the quay let out one scared glare. The ships held steady like they knew their claim, like the shore was a sentence and we were the same. 10,000 sails on a Sussex breeze, 10,000 sails, and the sea won't ease. They dropped their anchors with the teeth grit sound, like iron roots going deep in the ground. Men in blue coats climbed with the clipped out tread, cold-eyed as coins and twice as dead. They read out orders on the pier-side stones, over crab pots, rope coils, and the weathered bones of an old fish market half grown with weed, where the tide had patience and the gulls had greed. My mother watched from the window pane, apron damp as a field after rain. She set down the kettle and said my name, like a small thin flame against all that shame. Keep your head low, keep your brother near, don't answer back and don't let them hear. But the drums from the ships kept their heavy beat, and the whole town trembled through the cobbled street. 10,000 sails on a Sussex breeze, 10,000 sails, and the sea won't ease. Hey! At the customs house with the doors blown wide, they weighed our fish and the salt inside. They counted barrels, boots, and bread, every little thing that kept us fed. A clerk with ink on his narrow hand marked our lives like he owned the land. He called it peace with a polished grin, but the hooks in his pockets were sharp within. Then Jonah Pike by the alehouse wall raised his cup and refused to crawl. Tell your masters, he said, from here to the foam, this shore is ours, and the tide is home. The room went quiet as a storm held gate. Then someone laughed, then someone spat, and the faces lit up with that hard old fire that turns a dockside crowd to a single choir. We stood in line by the net repair yard, hands rough, backs bent, hearts set hard. The wind cut clean through coat and skin, but the old songs rose where the fear had been. We sang of bait hooks, lantern glass, of herring runs, and the years gone past. And over our heads like a dark great sign, the fleet stayed moored on the brackish line. By dusk the water took on steel, and even the officers lost their heel. The tide turned slow with the thief's own grace, and loosened the rope from its hold in place. One by one the sails pulled west like ghosts released from an open chest, and the town stood still on the sinking light, keeping the law of the sea in sight. 10,000 sails on a Sussex breeze, 10,000 sails, and the sea won't ease. Hey! Oh! Hey! So if you walk where the shingle breaks, and hear that wind when the harbor shakes, remember the price of a borrowed shore, and the sound of 10,000 sails once more.